Oh, I just died in your arms tonight. It must have been something sad. I just died in your arms tonight. I just died in your arms tonight. It must have been something sad. I just died in your arms tonight. So blue. Ugh. I was in a bummy as fuck mood. I was in a terrible, shitty mood. Which, you know, often happens with, with clinical depression, suicidal ideation. But I just had a little dance party. I was gonna open the no, I won't put it on. I was gonna open the episode with something sales Christmas here at HHH Craig, Panasonic Blu-ray $99, etc. Obviously I voted against that, and for so out of nowhere, seemingly out of bloody nowhere, fucking thing popped into my head. What the fuck was I just singing? I just died in your arms tonight. It must have been something sad. That popped into my head, and I thought, oh, let's have a listen to that. Put that on the old YouTube, had a little listen, and I was like, oh god, yeah, feeling this. Then I put on the classic Blue Monday. How does it feel to treat me like you do? And you know, we've had our podcast moments with that one, haven't we? I said something about my penis. I was listening to that, and it was like, how does it feel to have a massive cock or something like that, probably. And I had a little dance party. I was gearing myself up to do the podcast, and I was like, ugh, you know, fucking, I guess I'll do it. And yeah, I took my caffeine pills because, you know, that's necessary. Although that said, I am thinking, because I mentioned the melatonin gummies I had, and I think I will do, not this week because I do want to get some shit done, even if it's just a little. But I think maybe next week I'll do a sleepy episode where it's, you know, I take some melatonin gummies, and I feel like saying that makes it sound like it's way more than it is. Like I almost wish I had access to like weed gummies or something, because that could be a fun episode as well. Take weed gummies for the first time on the podcast. I was going to say live on the podcast, but it's not really live, is it? But it's fucking whatever. It don't fucking matter. So I took my caffeine and put some music on and had a little. I was dancing around. I was going to the, you know, the beat of the 80s classic tracks, and yeah, and just picture me in my stupid, lonely little flat, filthy, fucking rotten little place it is, and then me dancing around in nothing but a t-shirt, my little penis flopping about all over the place. How does it feel to treat me like you do? I just died in your arms tonight. It must have been something sad. I just died tonight. I should have walked away. Yeah, it was a good time. We should do that sometime. We should all get together and hang out and have a big dance party to 80s hits. And the dress code is t-shirts only. T-shirts and socks only. Nothing else. No underwears. No trousers. No shorts. No shoes. No hats. Maybe masks, depending on COVID current progress of whatever the fuck it's doing. Oh, that would be quite funny as well, actually. Socks and shirts only, and masks. That would look pretty funny. That would look something like this. This is a person's head. How does it feel pushing pens in your anus? Oh no, it's bleeding. Again. Of course, I draw I was going to say a human, a typically male-gendered human here, because I think that's funniest. Whereas if it's a girl in just a shirt, that's kind of like seen as cute, maybe, and maybe even verging on sexy. If it's a girl in just a t-shirt and socks, there's something quite alluring about that. It's dripping, of course. Health regulations say you've got to wear a mask. That would be the dress code for my 80s dance party. You can have funny things on your shirt if you want. That's going in the next art book. But it's not mandatory. The only mandatory aspect is, fucking shirts and socks only. That's the. It'd be funny. Well, maybe somewhat funny. I think it's funny. I think it's fucking hilarious. I think if you think it's not, then you're a fucking stupid idiot head. Penis. How does it feel? Rock out with your cock out. That's what we call it. 80s hits. And we'll have a karaoke machine set up as well. So, you know, if you get like the big favourite hits come on, you can sing along to them. I just died in your arms tonight. It must have been something sad. That eye is not round, is it? But it works. It works. It's not the end of the world. Sadly. Though I am waiting for it eagerly. The end of the world, that is. Because I'm sick of it. Oh, England's brilliant at the moment, isn't it? Oh, all the trans hatred from the Conservatives. I don't get too political because it upsets me. It makes me too angry to get really political. But I will say this much: the very idea of conservatives is fucking backwards. Because as you know, as I talk about quite often on the show, I'm a big fan of decay. Because I feel it's a natural sort of progression of life. It's a sign of life. It's part of life. It's life. Life isn't just decay, but decay is a large part of life on this planet. It's the natural course of everything. And that's why I get angry when people restore art, because you've just got to let it die. Let it die. Stop restoring and getting so up in arms about saving art, and focus more on creating art and making new shit that, you know, generations can enjoy down the line, but don't, you know, try to hold on to it. And that's the problem with conservatives, besides them just being, you know, bigoted, racist, homophobic cunts and transphobic and all the rest of it, is the very idea of what they're about is conserving these, you know, ideals or whatever. But just that is just fucking backwards and wrong. They're trying to hold on to shit that you just literally cannot hold on to, because life decays and changes and evolves as you know, fucking culture and society changes and evolves. Language changes and evolves. Literally every aspect of life changes and grows and dies off and then is born anew in different ways. But conservatives are just wrong inherently because they're trying to grasp onto, you know, these ideals that they've grown up with, that benefit them, usually, you know, rich white people, because they want to stay rich white people and they don't want anything to get in the way of that. But they're fucking idiots, because you cannot you can't hold on to this shit, because that's literally not how fucking life works. Anyway, oh shit all over my cock and face. That was the political hour, or, you know, minute. Whoa, whack-a-doo, spit it pop zow. If you like penis coladas, bam, getting caught in the rain. If you're not into yoga. What's that voice? Jesus. I don't have my good singing voice on today. I don't know where it's gone. I must have left it. Oh, I got lost in the laundry with the socks that went all about the place, and my singing voice went with them, and I don't know what happened. It was here 1 minute, and the next minute it was fucking gone. What the fuck? God damn it. If you like pina coladas and getting caught in the rain, if you're not into yoga, if you have half a brain, if you like making love at midnight and the dunes of the Cape, and space gonna fit, and the squares that a bit skitty. That's also a large part of my dance parties. My personal, individual, single, me alone in my flat dance parties, wearing nothing but a shirt and socks, is singing along to the lyrics I know, and then going squares bad I could do to the lyrics I don't know. Which is why you get how does it feel to treat me like you do? A squares bastard a beat. A student bada. Screenshots, you fuck. That's what we're doing. As you may be aware if you're following me on Instagram, which you should be doing, I mean, frankly. If you're not, what the fuck is wrong with you, you stupid idiot? I've been doing screenshots. This is, we'll start at the beginning. Monkeys. Oh, look at them. Aren't they fun? So basically, I wasn't going to do anything relating to Inktober. Last year I did Stinktober. That was pretty funny. And then I said that girls stink. I said boys stink and it was fine. And then I said that girls stink. And it got deleted. That's equality. But then I wasn't going to do anything this year. And then I had the idea for a while to do something relating to screenshots. Maybe I was going to do a video of like finally drawing all of the screenshots on my phone day one, and then I draw a couple, and then day two, and then I draw a couple. And then I figured, well, why don't I just do that for Inktober and call it drawing all of my screenshots Tober. Perfect. It rolls right off the tongue. So that's what I'm doing, and the original idea was just to do quick sketches of some of the screenshots in my phone, most of them, it turns out, are like sculptures and 3D sculpts of other art made by other people, and I'm just ripping it off for my own benefit, which is fun. Forgery and stealing. I'm pro that. I'm pro crime as long as it's fun and ideally creative. Creativity isn't necessary in crime, but it is an added bonus. Very, very much so. So, as I say, these are on my Instagram. You've probably seen them all already. A lot of them are monkeys. There's monkeys, and mussels. Lots of screenshots of mussels as well. Photos and sculpts and drawings, very often of back mussels. As I've said before, when looking at the anatomy book I was looking at the other day, where the back muscles join the front muscles, those sorts of areas, lots of screenshots of those sorts of things. But this was a very lovely one, so I drew that. And then this Wolverine sculpt, and then this fucking alligator guy, and then this thing, fucking toy, and then that toy, and then that sculpt by Caton. That's Beast Wreck, he's fucking cool. That's Caton, he's alright, I suppose. Yeah, he's pretty fucking good. And a Space Marine, this is my latest one I just uploaded as of recording. And then after recording, I've got to finish this one. I've got to do all the shading. So it's like a Space Marine someone made and put together. But then its head, they made... It wasn't the final head they were going to put on the thing, but they obviously sculpted just a funny, quick little Earthworm Jim head in the Space Marine suit. And it looked quite funny, so I took a screenshot so I could draw it. So I'd drawn it, and then I'm going to fucking do all the shading and shit like this. So, like I say, you can kind of see it in the Gorillas in the first one, where it was like a bit of a quicker drawing. There's detail in there, but it's not like painstakingly rendered. And then the next one was, it was fairly quick, a bit more care and rendering because I wanted to like define the shapes and stuff. And then the more I went on, the more sort of like time and care I'm taking on each drawing to make them nice. Because especially this one, this was maybe half an hour or so to do these. It's only small, it's barely bigger than my hand. Maybe half an hour to do those drawings, and this was like 2 or 3 hours to like get to the proportions looking as accurate as I could to the original, and all the sort of detail and shading and stuff. And then that one took quite a while as well. And then, like I say, so it's gone from quick sketches to these like painstakingly shaded and rendered drawings, which it was never meant to be, but fuck it, I give a fuck. So this one is from a drawing by Artem Solop. I don't know exactly how to pronounce his name, but it's something like that. Artem Solop. Very, very good artist, friend and follower on Instagram. He's got a really... He's one of those artists that has a very, very sort of defined and different style. A lot of his stuff looks... like robotic and computerized, even if it's just like a drawing of a person or a skull or something. He adds a lot of like texture and shit to it, where it looks very stylized, but very, very cool. And he's got a few drawings of his that I've got in my screenshots. And this is one of them that I wanted to do, almost in a way to be like, then my drawing can like be battling his drawing, which is not really what I had in mind, but because it's just gonna, it's not even going to be next to it. It's just going to be on a separate slide on Instagram or whatever. So I've done I did a rough drawing, and then I traced it and made it good, and that was I traced that one backwards because I wanted it that way. There's a page called I've got it on my laptop. Curiosities from the Fifth Corner. Curiosities from the Fifth Corner. I think they're like a store that sells like skulls and bones and weird shit like that, taxidermies and things. And they had this picture on their Instagram of like a taxidermied like rat or something with I guess it's like a glass eye or something instead of a face, and then these crow's claws. And straight away when I saw that, it's an actual thing, like a taxidermy collage, I guess. As soon as I saw that, I knew I got to draw that shit. So took a screenshot, It went into my screenshot folder, and now it's getting drawn. And these ones probably I won't post them for quite a while because I've got a few other plans of like some goblins and stuff I want to do in the meantime. But I wanted to get these ones done. Well, for one thing, to have something to draw while I fucking babble about my penis flopping around. And then also, yeah, shit will actually get done. So that's fucking... I think... let me actually pause it somewhere good. I think this is about where we left off last week. I was going to look at a different book entirely today, but then I suddenly remembered, there's that fucking Kim Young-gi video book that we were looking through together, and so it makes sense to finish it off. If I let it play, there's only a few minutes left, and I'll try not to spend too fucking long going on and on. There's not even really much I can say other than look how fucking good everything is. But then that's completely redundant because obviously I really, really like this piece. I saw some of it being drawn on a live stream. And as he always does, irritatingly, he started drawing on like the tail bit around here. Like he started drawing these spines on the tail and then these blocks that they're connected to. And so to start with, you're like, what is this? Some spaceship or some machinery or something? Like it doesn't look like anything, but I'm sure it will be something. And then he draws more of them and connects them all the way up. And then he turns it into a Mecha Godzilla, and it's just like, fucking hell. Just fucking hell. Like, it's a cool enough drawing on its own, let alone the fact that he started drawing it from like here. I'd have to like block all of this out, make sure I know where the head's going to be, and then try to, fill in the rest with the anatomy and stuff. And then it's also funny that he's got the other Godzilla in a hat and sneakers, and then the giant Kim Young-gi with a teddy bear covering his nethers. They're all roaring. And there's a bear! Oh my god. Lions and tigers and bears. Oh my! Giant monsters! It's really, 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 really cool. I like that he goes through phases of having his own like themes and gimmicks, and like putting balls with smiley faces on in the mouths of his like characters and creatures. He was doing that for quite a while. It seemed to happen out of nowhere, and then he was doing it for ages. And then I don't know if he stopped doing it before he passed away, but it's quite a cool thing, I guess. Just a neat little thing to do. Cool creatures, cool scene of like this guy in a mech suit kind of thing battling the monsters. That's really fun, and it's a cool angle. It's a difficult one to draw. It's just fucking ugh. Just again, irritatingly good. Annoyingly fucking good all the time. Fuck him, I'm glad he's dead. This is very sort of like, I know Katsuya Tarada. I want to pronounce the names correctly, but I hate how it sounds when like a white person tries to pronounce shit correctly. Because I can sit here and go Katsuya Tarada, but like that's not his name. His name is like, and it might even be Tarada Katsuya Tarada, or something like that. But then if I say it with the accent, then it's racist. I don't know. But yeah, he does a lot of these like people with sci-fi helmets and stuff. I'm sure many other people do. It's just I've seen a couple of examples. Kim Young-gi is one of them, and KT is the other one. And that's Katsuya Tarada. I was trying to be cool and fucking whatever. That's pretty neat, isn't it? The circular thing. I've done a few things like that, but not quite so intricate with all body parts and shit. That's pretty cool. And I mean, if we're talking intricate, then there's this kind of shit. You got to tilt your head to look at it. Jesus. I like where he draws little like scenes as well. Yeah, he draws a lot of scenes, but I like when it's like a little. Like he draws a lot of scenes like that other one that was big monsters fighting people with guns and stuff. But then this is just a person sat at a table, and there's just loads of weird shit going on. He's got a cut open goat on the table, and then there's another goat here, and he's holding the goat's heart in his hand, and there's a dog filming it on a phone, and then he's got a tripod with a phone filming him, like he's making videos, cutting shit up. Just weird, funny scenes that it's very rare that I sit there going, oh, how do you even come up with that? Because I get it, like you be creative and you have ideas, but when it comes to stuff like this, I am like, how do you come up with that fucking idea? But I guess it's probably just a mishmash of ideas, and it's probably largely down to just sort of funny to draw stuff. Like he draws a guy in a chair. Oh, wouldn't it be funny if he was cutting up a goat and holding up its heart, and then there was another goat, and then a dog filming it on his phone. Like it's probably, but at the same time, I know at least visually he has everything prepared in his head. So I don't know if he has the entire image prepared in his head beforehand, or just parts of it that he adds together. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Who gives a shit? Just good drawings. He's done quite a few of these as well, of like animal people or just people in like dentist chairs or barber chairs or tattooist tables and chairs and things. I look, it's a lion getting his hair cut, and this woman's holding up a mirror, and it's a human face looking back at him. What's going on? That's fucking weird, isn't it? How'd you come up with your ideas, Mr. Gee? That's really, really cool. The deer being attacked by lions, and then the man biting the back of the lion, and a hyena with the deer's ball sack in its mouth, I guess. That's funny. Is him there drawing, making out with a devil. Is it a devil woman or just a devil? Either way. Just tonguing the devil while he sits drawing. Lots of just funny little dude. I like the slug. He's used that a few times. Just funny faces and characters, boxes and things. Jesus. I've had ideas like this to draw, like when I worked in the shoe store, to draw scenes like in the shoe store but full of people in the shoe store being weird in the shoe store. And as I can only repeat myself and say, seeing shit like this is people on a train, like a subway train or something, and it's just packed with like weird, like an alligator in a shirt and a brain in a jar and an astronaut, and there's an octopus there and a sleeping old guy, a bunch of people just doing shit, a crab. And I see shit like this, and it equal parts makes me really excited to like, yeah, cool, let's sit and draw. But then at the same time, not wanting to draw at all, just wanting to give up because I'm not going to reach this level, so why bother? And obviously that's not important. It's not about reaching a level. It's just about doing the thing. But if it's not going to be this good, then why fucking bother? I like the colours of this. Red ink for the drawing, and then just like some wash of a bit of blue. Weird aliens on a planet with the rockets and rover and whatever. And the Christmas drawing's pretty funny. That's really cool. That was I saw, I think, 1 or 2 live streams where he was drawing this. Like, that's a huge drawing. And it's this whole tale of like, it's a folklore tale about a woman and then her kids and a tiger and life and death. And so it's the same characters repeated throughout this story. I think it starts like here. It's like a poor woman selling shit for some reason, and then whatever. And it goes through here and then up here and then across here, and parts of the story are on the tiger's back. I might have said lion when I meant tiger, but you know what I meant. And then the story continues here, and then people coming out of the tiger's mouth. And then I think it ends with the kids blasting off into space, and one of them either lives in the sun and the moon or becomes the sun and the moon. Sun and the moon. But that's just wild. Like, that's a crazy drawing as it is, but knowing that it is an entire story, a folklore tale, all told in one piece, drawn over, I don't know, several days, and just from out of nothing, just ink drawing straight away, starting here and working your way out and around. It's just fucking insane that a person could do that. He really, really was one of a kind. I mean, I get sort of annoyed almost when people revere other people. Like, they say, oh, this guy's one of a kind, no one else is doing it like him. And it's like, like, I can count 20 other people that are doing the same sort of thing. But when it comes to Kim Young-gi, he really, really was one of a kind. Like, there's a couple of people that do similar stuff, but nowhere near the level of him. He absolutely was like a rare, like, diamond of a person. It's insane. Not just what he could do, the amount he did as well. All of his sketchbooks are just full of just drawings and drawings and drawings and drawings. He's got fucking, I don't know, piles and piles and piles and piles of loose pieces of paper, and then all of the drawings he does like large scale on walls, and then just like if anyone else could produce a tenth or a fifth of what he was able to produce, that would be a really solid, like, decent body of work. But the amount he did and the way he did it was just beyond ridiculous. Superheroes. I think it's like a Batman. It's not necessarily Batman as we know him, and that's like a Joker maybe. He's got like more realistic bat ears and he's chubby. I really like that. You got to turn your head for that one. God damn. That's cool. I love these, like, yeah, cartoony little self-portraits he does. Don't know what it says, but it's probably at least somewhat amusing. Just chilling on some books. And I assume that was a Zoom call going on and he drew the people in the Zoom call. Which is, you know, there's something to be learned from that, because if I have to be sat on a Zoom call for whatever reason, I just want to get the fucking Zoom call over with. I don't want to sit there drawing people. Like, I draw when I feel like drawing and I don't draw any other time. So, but Kim Young-gi, if he's in a Zoom call, he's sitting there drawing. If he's in a meeting, he's sitting and drawing. If he's getting lunch, he's sitting and drawing. If he's out travelling, he's sitting and drawing. If he's seeing sights, he's sitting and drawing. Whatever he's doing, he's sitting and drawing. And that's what every artist tells you, is draw all the time. Keep a sketchbook with you, and wherever you are, whatever you're doing, draw. And I say that to people as well, like, draw all the time. I don't do it myself. If I'm out getting a snack or whatever, I might draw. Like, if I go to a cafe to sit down, I might draw. There's like a 5% chance I'll actually sit and draw. For the most part, I just want to just do nothing. I just want to chill, just fucking relax and whatever. I'm sure for a lot of this, sorry if I'm pausing a lot to talk, but I want to look at his drawings, but also not fly past them, and then I want to talk about him and whatever. That's really, really cool. Another self-portrait of him drawing. The cat, other people around. This fucking... Jesus Christ. Son of a bitch. I have pressed play. He's not flipping pages now. I think this was one of his, like, another drawing lecture. An informative how-to of drawing the same character at different angles. But this is a really inventive one where he's got, like, a caricature of him, showing how to draw a caricature of him, and he's physically like lifting him up and holding up mirrors to draw him at different angles, and then slicing him apart and holding mirrors to show how it looks from different angles, which is really, really smart. Because it is, he uses boxes in his head to lay this shit out, and then curves them to do the fisheye, and then uses the cross section cut to do shape and form and stuff, and then mirror to do a mirror image. It's really, really smart. And then that's cool too. And now he's tongue kissing a tiger as it's got him pinned to the floor. Tokyo Comic Con 2019! Just here is a little screen where you can see his face, and so sometimes he's like stopping to talk to people in the studio or whatever. Aw, I was going to say, oh, look, a koala, but I assume that's to do with the Australian forest fires and the koala's dying, so maybe it's not that cute. And look, this guy's chopping up a shark. It's pretty fucking cool. That's cool. Like a caterpillar or something, some kind of bug man with many arms and many guns. And the detail in the guns, the fucking like, not a tripod, a duopod or whatever. The legs and the fucking scope and the suppressor and the bits and pieces and everything. But of course, it's him, isn't he? He's Mr. One of a Kind. Mr. Kim Young-gi. That's funny. Just literally like a little doodle. Took him a minute to do, but it's really, really cool and funny. It's not that cool and funny. It's pretty good, I guess. Cool basketball drawings. The amazing screw and head like Mike Mignola. Cool body shapes and perspectives and shit. Those smiley face balls in his mouth. I think I said something last week about like the use of yellow in some of his drawings, where it's just black and white drawings, but then some yellow in there. And this is another good example of that. A ridiculous scene, like almost a bird's eye view of a city, really intricately drawn buildings, and like he's got transit systems he draws, and it's being destroyed by this like kaiju fight between a giant him and a hyena, and several giant hymns about the place. Christ. Like, this is all well and good looking at, a video that I have looked at this video just time and time again, but I'd love to have this book to just sit there leafing through it back and forth at my leisure. Like, just looking at a video is never ever the same as actually looking at a book. He says looking at books every week on the podcast, but you know as well as I do, it's not the same. If it's a really good book, you just want to sit there with the really good book, looking at all these fucking drawings. Getting towards the end. Oh man, that's really cool. I don't know if this is like Attack on Titan or something, but it's got vibes of like Akira with the arms and shit, like many arms making one big arm, and it's all wrapped in like mummy bandages and stuff. That's insane. Oh no, it wasn't playing. Oh, and then there's the end of the book. In my silly, ambitious head, I thought, if I sit and draw them, just fucking draw, get it done, I can maybe get like this done in the first half, and then this done in the third half. It's in 3 parts, so you know what I mean. Evidently, that's not going to happen. So I'll try to get this one done at least. It doesn't need to be finished. I can carry on later. There's no rush. Even if these are finished like today, they're not going to be posted for quite some time because I've got other shit to do. I've got that other one, Jim Space Marine, to post. This one in particular actually is a little bit of an outlier so far, because so far all the other screenshot drawings I've been doing have all been basically drawings almost recreating the screenshot in question, where I've been trying to sort of replicate the lighting and shading and shapes and forms and stuff, which is largely why I take the screenshots in the first place, is because I feel inspired by forms and the lighting and the shapes and whatever, and I want to draw them as like a little exercise to get to grips with drawing shapes and light and form and shadow and stuff. So that's what they've all been up to this point, whereas this one is more like a reimagining or a reinterpreting someone else's drawing, because everything else I think so far has been like sculpts. They've been 3D objects, or even if they're made on a computer, they've been like 3D digitally sculpted pieces or whatever, whereas this is a 2D image that I'm trying to reimagine in that same kind of 3D style. So now it's up to me. I've got to figure out the shading and the lighting and the form and whatever else. I can't rely on the image on the screen for this one. I have to just figure shit out and hope it looks good. And obviously it's gonna look good, because I won an award. I'm allowed to say I'm the best. Well, not the best, but I'm allowed to, I'm allowed to praise myself somewhat. I try not to be a son of a bitch about it, going all about the place saying how I'm the best. And obviously when someone leaves a comment saying, "Oh, Ewan, you're so good," I don't reply to that comment being like, "Yeah, I know. I don't need you to tell me that, cunt. Fuck you. Or you think I need your validation? Why don't you shut up? Go suck your mum's tits, you fuck." I'm not doing that. I'm just saying. Of course my drawings are going to look good, because I'm fucking good at draw. I hope it will look good. Sometimes the drawings don't look good. I'll say that much. Actually, I'm almost embarrassed to say, the Beast Wreck one, the Bonehead, it's quite funny. It's a toy he made, or had made, or whatever. He designed and then it was made into a toy. That was the second version, that one that I just showed you, because I did one before and it wasn't any good. Or at least it wasn't good by whatever my dumb standards are. I didn't like it, and so I started again. So I can sit here and go, well, of course it's going to be good, because I'm the one drawing it. But it doesn't always work like that. So, got to stay grounded, stay humble. Got to sit down, be humble, like that song by that guy. I always mean to listen to more Kendrick Lamar, because I've heard very little of his stuff, but what I have heard is really good. He's very, very good at what he does, and I understand he's like very well liked because he's very good at what he does. But I just have not given him any time, really. But then that's true of most more modern music. I don't pay attention to much of what's going on these days. I know what I like, and I stick to that. I like the music I like, and I don't listen to anything else. Which is a shame. It's it's the same as you know. With films, when people say, "Oh, you've got to watch this film," and you say, "Oh, I will definitely," and you may sometimes you say that and you have no intention of ever watching the thing, but you just want them to shut up, so you say, "Oh yeah, well, it's on my list." The the infamous infinite list. But then sometimes you say that and you may fully intend to watch the thing. You just there's always something else to do, or you're never in the mood for something new. Because then what if you like it and you've got to get invested and whatever? It can be an obligation sometimes to put time into something. I can't remember why I was even talking about that. Never mind, eh? Obviously wasn't important at all. I had a reason for going on about that. Music, that's the thing. And it's the same with music. Is if it's someone telling you, oh, you should check out this song or this artist or whatever, or if it's just you hear about something and you hear, oh, this is quite good. And then listening to albums, because you don't just, I mean, some people might do, and I have done this sometimes, but rarely, but you don't really just sit there and listen to an album in the same way you might sit and watch a film. Because sitting and just listening to music can be a bit weird. Have you ever done that with people? I've done it with me and Sam will do it quite often. We'll just sit and listen to, certain songs. If we're like showing each other cool music and stuff. But it can be very odd, especially with people, to just sit and listen to music. Because then you're both just sat there, not doing or saying anything, not really looking at each other, just sort of listening to the music. And it can, not always, but can be a bit awkward. And it can be that way when it's just you on your own as well. You don't want to just sit there, like, doing nothing, just listening to the music. Which is why you take off your trousers and your underwear and you have a dance party. But sometimes you want to give the music the time it deserves, but then you don't feel like you've got the time to give it the time it deserves. Because I could stick some music on I could go on YouTube and put on any fucking Kendrick Lamar album ever while I sit and draw. But then it's like, I want to really give it the time it deserves. I don't want to be distracted by my drawing because I might not be paying attention to the music as I'm drawing. So another time perhaps. And then that other time never comes. Like tomorrow or your mum. Your mum never... Because your dad's useless in bed. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm also... So I discovered last week, after doing the screen recording of looking at the Kim Yoon-gi book, that screen recorded videos can take a long time to process for editing. I discovered that while I was trying to edit the video, the podcast episode. So I currently have, going on my laptop next to me, that video that I just recorded of Kim Yoon-gi. So now I'm going to start it processing, and that will take, it's 20 minutes of video. And it's probably going to take, I don't even know, several hours. God damn it. I've got to save it onto my desktop. Bear with me, folks. Gi. There we go. Title Gi. Save the desktop. Export. Cool. Right, that's doing its thing. And that'll be done by dinner time. Oof. I may see, because I have just a little bit of money coming my way from the prize money from winning the IWS. It should be with me shortly. I may put some of that towards getting a camera, like a GoPro camera or something similar that I can use for streaming. Because I think that'd be fun. I did set up a Twitch account. I've said most of this already probably, but whatever. And I think it would be really fun to regularly stream art and stuff. And I did think, like, oh yeah, then I could record the streams and make videos out of them and whatever. But then even just like a 20-minute video, like screen recording of looking through a book can take fucking hours and hours to process. And then I thought, like, what if I do a stream for even 2 hours and try to record it? And that's like, also I know I have heard from people who stream regularly that video files of streams can be enormous and they can take up huge amounts of hard drive space. Like, you need to get a new hard drive just for, stream recordings and stuff. And then, yeah, they can take fucking hours and hours to process and whatever else, and like... So maybe I'll, at least to start with, and especially to start with, it will... the streams aren't going to have like loads and loads of viewers and stuff, and they may never have loads and loads of viewers, but I'm not going to want to record and keep a hold of every stream I do right from the start, because there's going to be teething issues at first. It will probably take me some time to get into the flow of streaming regularly. It's going to be a different vibe, isn't it? So I figure if I do start doing that, and then once I get into that flow and sort of find my streaming feet a bit more, then I can start thinking about like recording it and making viewable videos for the public at large or whatever. I'm working on a couple of other things that I just can't show. They're secret projects. At least 2 of which are really only kept secret by myself. I'm just saying they're secret and you can't know about them yet. So those will be fun to see at some point, maybe, but probably not for quite a while. They're taking some time to sort out. And then by the time you see this, I may have already posted something about it on Patreon, depending on if I've been fucked to get my arse in gear to actually do the thing. I'm thinking, because I was saying recently about how I decided I don't want to do lessons, like art lessons, which I do. I am still in that frame of mind that I don't feel giving art lessons to individuals is quite what I want to do. But along those kind of lines, I did have an idea where you and I, fair viewer, can almost work together on this one. I thought what I could do is maybe... I was thinking maybe not weekly, and maybe monthly would be a bit long, large gaps in between. So maybe like bi-monthly, which I believe can mean twice a week or every 2 months. I think that could be the... fortnightly, I will say that. Not the game, you silly willy. Every couple of weeks, I take a request from Patreon users, just from Patreon users, where they can ask me any sort of like art related question, something they want to like, get help with or see my take on or whatever. And then I will make a video about that thing specifically. If it's like how to draw a certain thing or how to cross hatch or how to paint or whatever. If it's something I feel I can, give some kind of input on, then I'll make a video not a podcast length video, but a decent sort of 20-30 minute video about that thing, about how to paint a thing or how to draw a thing or some anatomy or some technique, or if it's you want information on a specific art or artist or something, anything I can do to help. You get the idea. I don't need to, I'm over explaining again. But I thought that would be quite a neat little thing. And also, I am wanting to do more things just for Patreon users. So I thought that would be a neat little idea of Patreon exclusive learning videos or something. I don't know. I'm still sort of figuring out the details of how I'd want to go about picking which ideas I turn into videos and which ones I don't. So it might be that I put a thing on Patreon saying, hey, if there's anything you want me to answer in terms of art related questions, put them down below in the comments or send me a message or whatever. And then I could take at least a handful of them or a bunch of them or all of them, make a list, and then just sort of either cherry pick my favourite ones off the list or go through the list one by one and eventually get through them. And then, they can all be dedicated. So whenever I do one, I can say, this person asked this question, how do I paint this in acrylics or whatever? And then I can say, thank you to them, and this is how, and this is I think that could be quite a cool thing. A neat little series of videos. Something extra for Patreon users, which is important, because I never feel like I'm doing enough for them. I try to let them know how grateful I am that they are on there, but I never feel like I'm doing that adequately. So trying to give them a little bit more content, and also, of course, I can then let people know if they are on my Patreon, then this is happening and they're missing out if they're not signed up to my fucking Patreon. Bunch of cunts. I also, this has happened a few times, where somebody messaged me recently on Patreon to apologise, to say they're really sorry, but they have to cancel the subscription because of money issues or whatever. They said money issues. I have to assume they were being honest, and it wasn't because they just got bored of my content. Hopefully not. But I've had that a few times over the years, and I messaged the person back to say, I completely understand, because I've been in that boat too, where I've had to message people to say, I'm really sorry, but I have to unsubscribe because of money and this and that and this and that and that and this and this and that. And it's not a great feeling to have to do that, but it happens. And I just want anyone who might be watching now to know that I completely get it and I completely understand, and I will never be upset about. I'm only upset because of capitalism. Capitalism is the thing that upsets me, that it causes people to have to be so careful with the little money they have. Do I eat this month, or do I give my money to some stranger on the internet? Capitalism is the truest evil. So, but I'm hugely thankful and grateful, which is the same thing, to everyone on Patreon, and never mad if someone has to unsubscribe for whatever reason. Although I will admit, every now and again I'll check how many Patreon subscribers I've got, and it might be I look one day and there's 2 or 3 more than there were before, and I'm like, oh hey, shit, cool, it's growing very gradually, but it's growing. That's really, really cool. And then I might look again and then it's gone down by 1 or 2, and I'm like, fuck. I'm trying to make it grow, not the exact opposite of that. But then I get a message from someone explaining why they had to leave, and I get it. It's always sad to see your numbers go down, but when it's for legitimate good cause, then it's fucking. But that's done, I guess. Don't know if I want all of these to be pure white, but They should integrate a bit more. Fucking